hey, we now see how Mike Vrabel's going to manage Julio Jones. No kid gloves, no tiptoeing on eggshells. Julio Jones is going to get coached up like anybody else on the team. I still am not 100% convinced that Vrabel was on board with the trade for Julio Jones, but we'll see how it all plays out. Titans 0-1. Goats in a bad way draft. Chris, I'll give you the first pick.
Oh, you're very nice. Thank you. I think I want to go right there. I'm going to go to the Titans defense. I mean, am I allowed to pick a whole unit? I mean, I am. Sorry.
Have you ever stopped?
No.
You're
right. I like to ask, and then I don't really care what you say.
And they do it anyway.
Right, right. But, I mean, come on. That was embarrassing. I mean, yeah. I mean, Kyler Murray, I know how dangerous he is, but damn, they couldn't do anything. Their defense got dominated in the run game. They couldn't even get close to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray and the offensive line looked good. Like, the Arizona Cardinals offensive line protected him at a really high level, especially with just the front four rushing. They had no chance. So they were getting gashed everywhere. They couldn't match up. Just a disappointing performance by a team that you think is like, a Super Bowl contender, or at least definitely an AFC playoff contender with a defensive head coach. Yeah, that was a bad look. I mean, that was Crapville all day long there for that Titans defense.
Crapville. Population 1. I got to go Damian Harris. Look, you lost the game for the Patriots.
Right.
You lost the game for him.
I know. You're right.
If you don't fumble that ball, they kick the field goal or miss it, and then the kicker would be the GOAT. But you put the ball on the ground, and I know Xavier Howard punched it out, but that the ball is always a sacred thing that must be properly possessed by a running back. But in that moment, it's even more critical. And Harris let the ball get out of his clutches and let the win get off the board for the Patriots, Chris.
Yeah, I hear you. That was huge. I don't know why I didn't pick that first. I wrote that there. I should have picked that first. That was stupid right there. I deserve to be in the GOAT draft right there, just being for an idiot. All right. Can't pick myself. I am an idiot. I think the next place I'm going to go here, even though, man, I'm rooting for this guy, but it's in bad moments, bad timing. Daniel Jones with the fumble. Again, it's just because it's a theme. We know that. So that was a huge moment in the football game. I believe it was 17-7. Denver, was up by 10. The Giants were moving the football. They were in fringe, red zone area, in field goal territory. And, lightning struck once again, where Daniel Jones made a nice play, got out in the pocket, ran up the middle, was going to get like an 8 or 9 yard gain, but didn't protect the football. Similar fumble to like what we saw with Lamar Jackson last night. That just Daniel Jones has no room for error right now. They're not good enough on offense to be making those mistakes and those moments. And man, I'm a big Blue fan, but that was a big moment that really kind of took the game away from them.
I got to go with Lamar Jackson. He would gladly wear the goat horns himself. The 2 fumbles, one in the fourth quarter, one in overtime. Only the 4th player since 1980 to have a fourth quarter fumble and an overtime fumble. Not that those events even potentially present themselves very often, because overtime games don't happen all that frequently. But still, for a guy who was a 2019 MVP, a guy who deserves the second contract, a guy who is the heart and soul of the offense, you got to secure the football. If you're going to run it, you don't want to get injured, number one, but number two, you don't want to put the ball on the ground, and he did it too many times last night. And he is willingly taking the blame, so it makes it easier for us to make him one of the GOATs of the week, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. I respect that about him. I mean, even just the emotion he shows in the post-game press conference, right? Like, man, that ticks me off, he says. Like, yeah, that's going to bother him. It certainly is.
The drama builds as we close in on round 3. Who will we select? GOATs in a bad way, week 1. Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm not happy with my draft so far. I've dropped the ball. I'm a GOAT in a bad way, idiot in a bad way. But I'm going to go with like another one that was obvious, and I should have picked it already. I'm going to go with Taylor Lewan. I mean, Taylor Lewan is a franchise left tackle, right? I mean, I really respect that he called himself out a lot like Lamar Jackson on social media and said, hey, thanks to Chandler Jones for exposing me, and I got to work harder. That is really cool. I really do I love that. He gave up, there were 6 sacks in that game. He gave up 3 of them. I mean, there was one by the backup tackle, and then was one a bootleg where nobody blocks Chandler Jones because he's supposed to go for the run fake, but he's smart. He's been there, done that. But either way, we expect more of Taylor Lewan. He's been one of the better left tackles in football, and that was just a bad day for sure.
And he definitely acknowledged he got his ass kicked by Chandler Jones. You know what? I don't want to get any hostile text messages or phone calls, but it wouldn't be the first time it's happened this week from people who don't like the things I say or write. I got to go with Mike Zimmer. That defense that was called on 4th and inches with 50 seconds left in overtime, as if they were defending the goal line, not 50 yards behind them. And the two problems there. First, the defense that was called to stop the Bengals from converting. And second, when Joe Burrow does this, I said my microphone was off because I was connected through our Zoom app.
Right.
He's changing to a pass, and he did.
He did.
And that was it.
I know.
And they lost the game. And that's on Zimmer. He's the defensive guru, and he was talking last week about how he's ahead of the curve defensively. Just ask anybody. Well, you weren't ahead of the curve there. So you got to deliver. If you're going to talk big, and I got no problem with big talk, you got to deliver, and they failed to deliver.
I get it. It's a tough spot. Listen, I don't think it was like totally stupid where I go, oh, there was no thought there. Again, they're worried about getting nickel and getting the first down and then getting nickel and dimed and getting them in the field goal position too. So tough one, but I hear your complaint. I get it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.